Your membership is revoked, the manager announced. I smiled, opening my laptop. Interesting. Let me introduce myself, I'm your new owner. The committee went pale. They robbed me from the country club not knowing. Ms. Chen, Mr. Patterson, straightened his blazer with practiced disdain. The membership committee has made their decision. I sat quietly in the oak-paneled office of the Evergreen Country Club watching the afternoon light reflect off my laptop screen, the same screen displaying confirmation of my latest acquisition. Your behavior has been deemed unsuitable. He continued, flanked by the committee members in their perfectly pressed khakis and pastel polos. The standards of Evergreen must be maintained unsuitable. I kept my voice neutral, thinking of the papers my lawyers had finalized that morning. The incident at the charity gala, Mrs. Whitmore spoke up, pearls gleaming, speaking to the staff like equals, suggesting the club's investment portfolio was, she shuddered, outdated and your attire. Ms. Bradford added, eyeing my simple black dress, a hand-tailored piece worth more than her annual membership dues. The club has a certain aesthetic. I checked my watch. Swiss-made discreet worth more than their cars combined. So my membership is being revoked. Effective immediately. Mr. Patterson nodded gravely. We'll refund your annual dues. Of course, that won't be necessary. I said, opening my laptop, but while we're discussing membership, I turned the screen toward them, displaying the ownership transfer documents. The color drained from Mr. Patterson's face. What is this proof of purchase? I replied, as of 9 this morning, Evergreen Country Club, along with its sister properties across the country, belongs to Phoenix Global Holdings. Mrs. Whitmore's perfectly manicured hand flew to her throat. Phoenix Global, the investment firm that's been buying luxury properties. My investment firm, I corrected gently, though I prefer to stay out of the spotlight. Usually through the window, I could see members enjoying their afternoon golf, unaware that their exclusive sanctuary had just changed hands. This must be a mistake. Mr. Patterson stammered, no mistake. I smiled, pulling up more documents along with the club. Phoenix Global now owns the marina where you dock your boats, the private airfield you use for your weekend getaways, and most interestingly, the banks holding most of your mortgages. The membership committee sat in stunned silence as their world shifted beneath their designer loafers. So I closed my laptop about that membership revocation. The staff complaints, Miss Bradford whispered, her golf visor suddenly less crisp, when you defended them were filed with the owner. I nodded, which, as it turns out, was me. Even then, the wage increases and healthcare benefits have already been approved. Mr. Patterson's hands trembled as he reviewed the ownership documents. The renovation budget you questioned will be audited, I confirmed, along with every financial decision this committee has made in the past 5 years. My team is particularly interested in those emergency repairs to the marina, the ones that somehow cost 3 times the market rate. Through the club's bay windows, I could see my security detail arriving, not in uniform, but in suits that cost more than a year's membership. The investment portfolio, Mrs. Whitmore said faintly when you said it was mismanaged, is now under Phoenix Global's control. I finished, though I doubt your husband will enjoy explaining to his clients why their funds are being transferred to more competent managers. My phone buzzed with updates from my executive team, the simultaneous acquisition of 5 other exclusive clubs across the country, all part of today's carefully orchestrated takeover. Your clothes. Ms. Bradford muttered, we thought they were cheap, handmade in Paris. I smiled, smoothing my simple dress by artisans who work exclusively for my fashion subsidiaries, the same ones that supply those designer labels you love to flaunt. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the membership committee's faces as they realized just how completely they'd misread the situation. The charity gala, Mr. Patterson said, suddenly, when you were talking to the wait staff, my employees, I corrected the catering company is one of my holdings, along with the valet service, the florist, and that wine import business you're so proud of having an account with. Outside members were starting to notice the arrival of serious-looking executives in bespoke suits. My management team here to begin to transition the membership list. Mrs. Whitmore clutched her pearls. Surely you can't review and revise it. I pulled up another document on my laptop. Actually, that's first on today's agenda, along with a complete overhaul of the club's rather discriminatory acceptance policies. Mr. Patterson's club tie suddenly seemed to be choking him, but the traditions of exclusion, elitism, financial mismanagement, I raised an eyebrow. Those traditions end today, though I'm sure the press would love to hear you defend them. As if on cue, my phone displayed alerts about Phoenix Global's latest acquisition, the first public acknowledgement of just who owned their precious sanctuary. Now I stood straightening my designer dress about that membership revocation. Mr. Patterson's hand shook as he reached for the revocation papers. We could reconsider. That won't be necessary. I smiled, pulling out my own documents, because as of today, the entire membership committee is being restructured. Mrs. Whitmore's perfectly coiffed hair seemed to deflate. You can't just remove you schlecken and will. I slid the papers across the mahogany table, though the SEC might be more interested in your husband's creative accounting for the club's investment fund. Through the window, I could see more of my executives arriving, men and women whose net worth made the club's elite membership look like pocket change. The golf tournament next week. Ms. Bradford said, weakly, the governor is attending. We'll proceed as planned. I nodded, though he might be surprised to learn who's actually hosting him. My team has some interesting questions about those state contracts. His brother-in-law keeps winning. The afternoon light caught my laptop screen displaying real-time updates as Phoenix Global's acquisition became public knowledge. The club's carefully cultivated image of exclusive power was crumbling with each news alert. Your table at the dining room. Mr. Patterson, tried one last time, the one you complained about near the kitchen. I smiled. We'll make an excellent location for my private office. The renovation starts tomorrow, though. I suspect the kitchen staff, who, by the way, now have full benefits and fair wages, will enjoy watching you explain yourselves to my audit team. My phone buzzed again, more notifications about Phoenix Global's expanding luxury portfolio, the same company they dismissed as new money when I hinted at my connections. The membership fees you paid, Mrs.